Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Performance Kitchen. Now today we're talking and eating all things rugby. We have got tight head prop full of Harlequins, Will Collier. Will, come in.
Hey mate, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, very good mate. Good to be here.
As you can tell, me and Will are very similar in build and height, so
Yeah,
I mean,
very much so.
it's going to work out really well.
I think so, yeah, it'll be good.
So let's get straight into it. What are you going to cook for us today?
Today I'm cooking a Thai green curry with cauliflower rice.
Interesting.
Yeah,
cauliflower rice.
Cauliflower
It's a big thing at the moment.
It is, yeah, it's quite trendy. You know, I wasn't so sure about it at first. I think
Right.
it's kind of taken off with the whole Hemsley sisters, and it's kind of the new thing. It's a bit like courgette, you know, everyone's kind of doing it at the moment. But when I tried it, it's actually great, and it really, really works, especially with some of the bigger lads when you're trying to cut down on those carbs.
Yeah.
This is a great way of doing it. Really, really good.
Perfect. So let's get into it. What's the first thing we should be doing?
So the first thing, we're going to make the curry paste, which I think is a real key.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, not many people make curry paste these days, but I think it's a really crucial part to a good curry. So what we've got is some nice garlic here. Where's it gone? There.
Here it is.
Yep.
Garlic.
We'll get a couple of cloves of garlic, a couple of things of lemongrass. Would you be able to just take the kind of tough outer bit of the lemongrass off for me?
Perfect.
That's all right. I'll get a couple of cloves of garlic, yeah. And then we're just going to chuck it all in the food processor over there.
Okay, perfect.
So a food processor is kind of essential to this dish.
Right.
Although if you don't have one, I tried it earlier on in the week and I used a mortar and pestle or pestle and mortar, I don't know, no one knows what it is. And just try and chop it up finely.
Right,
so
okay.
That works as well.
So you don't need a food processor, but
no,
it will make a big difference.
Shallot as well here.
Shallot,
and then a bit of ginger. Perfect. There we go.
So this meal, when would you have it? What time of the day? Is it for breakfast?
Well, so we're in pre-season at the moment. So it's obviously a lot of hard training, and we're trying to make all the gains we can before the season starts. So we're coming back into training on the back of 6 weeks off.
Right.
So as you can imagine, some of the bigger lads, me probably included, we've come in just a little bit, just a smidgen.
But that's allowed.
Porky, which is allowed, which is expected. Yeah. So what we've done is a great way of kind of losing some fat. Is in the heavy training week, you cycle your carbs throughout the week. So what we do is after a really hard training day, we then have no carbs for the rest of the afternoon and evening. And no carbs at all, and for the next morning. And then what you do is first thing the next morning, you go in and do a kind of steady bike for about half an hour, 45 minutes, get the heart rate up, and that then burns a lot more fat. It's actually, I've got it written down, it's up to regulate your fat oxidation, is what it is. That's a David Dunn term, that. He's a nutritionist at Quinn, so a little name check for him there.
Like that name drop.
Yeah.
So you're having this, so you're having this and you're getting on the bike?
So I'm having this the night before.
The night before. Right. And then you don't have anything in the morning.
Nothing.
On the bike.
Well, they say you can have a little bit of eggs or something, but I just have a bit of coffee, and then just jump straight on the bike. And that's a really good way to burn fat. But it's a tough thing to do, is to have no carbs for that period of time, especially for some of the bigger lads and some of the bigger props.
Right.
So to be able to have this kind of a meal, which is also a curry essentially.
Yeah.
And to make it healthy and have no carbs.
You feel like you're treating yourself.
Exactly, yeah. It's a great way of doing it.
I've got all this cut up here. Anything else?
Great, no, that's all for now. So we'll chuck this.
What's the next step?
We're going to chuck this in the food processor over there.
Here we go.
Yeah, and give it a whiz up.
Lovely. Pretty simple.
I'm not sure what that is, but we'll go for half a chilli.
So we're chopping some chilies and some coriander now. That's going to go into the food processor. We just whizzed up some the lemongrass and the garlic. Right?
Lemongrass, garlic, yeah, the ginger, that's already gone in. So now it's just adding the chilli, the coriander, and a bit of the cumin to give it that curry kick. The cumin's lovely. I love a bit of cumin. Get the nose in that.
Smells great.
Yeah.
Cumin just brings a meal up there. To that level, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Perfect. So you don't really need to finely chop the coriander, just pretty rough chop.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah.
This is it.
The chilli and then the cumin. Right, over we go to the food processor.
Here we go. So the last thing to put in the processor is the fish sauce. Yeah. And then that's the paste made.
Just a bit of fish sauce, yeah. It smells absolutely disgusting. But it's kind of an essential ingredient. No.
Well, it tastes a lot better than it smells.
It tastes a lot better than it smells, and it's big in Thai food, so once it's in the food, it's a lot better than when it's out.
It's got to go in, isn't it?
Yeah, so we'll chuck that in now.
Let's chuck it in.
Yeah.
It does smell good though, that.
There we go. And that is the paste.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Awesome. What's the next stage, Will?
Next stage is onto the chicken.
Chicken, okay.
So if we chop up some chicken and then get that
the
on
chicken is right behind us here.
Excellent.
I'll put on some heat. Lovely.
Cool.
Cool, so we've got the chickens in front of us, we've got some mushrooms. I'll chop up some mushrooms. You chop up the chicken and then that's going straight in the pan, right?
Yeah, great. If you just slice those up for me.
How many mushrooms would you say we need for this?
We only probably need about 4 mushrooms for this,
okay.
just to soak up the sauce.
Not many.
And there's quite a nice vessel for the lovely Thai green sauce. I'm not cutting the chicken too thick.
Okay.
Because what we're going to do, we're just going to chuck it on the frying pan and kind of brown it a bit.
Right, okay. There was a funny story you were telling me before that you had a pop-up sausage shop or something like that?
Yeah,
in Shoreditch, in London?
In Shoreditch, that's right,
It's a pretty funny story. Tell us what happened there.
I injured my ACL in my right knee 2 years ago, which is quite a common rugby injury.
Quite serious as well, isn't it?
Quite serious, yeah. So you're kind of looking at about 6 to 12 months being out of the game. So I kind of thought to myself, well, what am I going to do? I'm out of rugby now for 6 to 12 months. I've never really known being out of rugby. A lot of boys do degrees and things, but I've always had a real passion for food. I love food. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? My good friend who's just retired, who I actually previously mentioned, Ollie Cohn.
Right. Lots of name drops going on
Lots
today.
of name drops going on today. Yeah. He owns a sausage company called the Jolly Hog. With his other 2 brothers. He set up whilst he was playing. So I thought, well, I'm not playing for a year. Your sausages are great. Let's do a pop-up sausage restaurant.
What better place to do it than Shoreditch?
No one's done it before. We'll do it in Shoreditch.
Was it in Box Park?
No, it was just up the road, actually.
Okay.
So we were kind of in the street food capital of London, as it were, surrounded by street food places.
For anyone who isn't from London who's watching, Shoreditch is the place to be if you want some pop-up
very
food.
trendy, very hipster, so that's why we were over there.
Yeah.
And it was called the Banger Bar.
Right,
yeah,
nice
cool
name.
So we did it with Ace Hotel. We know the head chef there, who's a great bloke.
Right.
And we had this nice little place which served out of this little hatch in the high street, right onto the high street. But it was right next to the nightclub. So
you didn't know this at first?
We didn't know this at first, no. So the queue for the nightclub would come out here, and we'd be serving the food here, sausages obviously.
Yeah.
And on the first night we were there, the Saturday night, they didn't tell us, but it was an event called A Hard Cock Life.
What a name.
Yeah, so we're serving these sausages, and I mean, they went like crazy. It was really high demand for them, it was great.
And you had enough ingredients, you had enough sausages to go around?
Yeah, and just to clarify, that was the biggest gay night kind of in East London, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, it was,
you must have earned a fortune, you must be a millionaire.
Yeah, no, it was great, it was really good fun. Amazing place to do it from.
Yeah.
Really cool venue, Ace Hotel. We loved it whilst we were there.
So the chicken's all chopped up, the mushrooms.
Is this?
How's the pan?
Yeah, the pan's nice and hot now.
Yeah, we use some.
So we've got some macadamia nut oil here. Just add a nice bit of nuttiness.
Some lovely macadamia nut oil.
Yeah, that is superb. Right.
We use that with most of our dishes on the Performance Kitchen.
There we go. Get that in there, and then we'll just brown off this chicken.
Okay.
These nasty bits here.
All right, so the chicken is sizzling away.
Chicken sizzling away. Yep, we're just trying to brown this.
Okay.
And then once it's just browned, we'll take it off the heat.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to the curry paste.
Perfect.
Making the base of the curry.
But is there anything else to chop? We've got some onions here.
The shallots are all done actually now.
No, everything's done.
That's all done, yeah. Mushrooms, they're chopped, they're ready to go in. Chilli, that'll make a nice garnish. Bit of coriander for the garnish. And then we've got some sugar snap peas as well.
Lovely.
That'll go in. Actually, chuck a bit of lime juice in.
Roll a lime. Remember to roll a lime.
Roll a lime. Yeah. I don't know why. It just looks quite professional. I saw someone do it once.
I'm sure there's a method to it.
Yeah. So I'll just add a nice bit of lime into the paste here, just for that bit of freshness, you know.
Right, a bit of citrus.
Bit of zesty freshness.
You've got to have a bit of lime.
There we go.
Lovely. Do you make a big batch when you're cooking this?
Yeah, that's the good thing
to
do.
Like a week. Or
yeah, then it'll last for kind of a month or so.
Really, that long? That's must be a huge cooking session then.
Yeah, well, you don't actually need that much of the paste. This is probably enough for kind of 3 portions, but
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I think we'll go strong today. We'll make sure we get that flavour. So
oh yeah, it'll be very.
I'll chuck most of that
tasty.
in. Sorry, I'm just going to take the chicken off now.
Right, the chicken's off.
That's done.
We'll put the heat down a little bit.
Put the heat down a little bit, and then
chicken's been on there. What, 2 minutes?
Yeah, so 2 minutes.
Don't on for long.
Just brown through on a high heat.
Lovely. Onto the plate.
Onto the plate, and then we're going to get the curry paste in. We'll get that whizzing in a sec. Touch more of that in.
Oh, I missed it.
That's all right. We'll do the pour like this.
Yeah.
It's actually really good stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
So the paste all done. Yeah.
Paste, yeah, that's just been heating through for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Just
2 minutes. So
getting,
it's like 2 minutes for the chicken, 2 minutes for the paste.
Twos.
Simple.
Just working twos.
Working twos.
Working twos,
Good
yeah.
to remember that.
So you just get the aroma around the pan.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is just add some of this nice coconut milk.
Oh, lovely. One can?
Just one can for now, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll see how we go.
1 can of coconut milk.
Just take that off the heat so it doesn't bubble up or anything.
It does smell. I know we say this a lot on the performance kitchen, but
it's one of those that's going to come out in a big clunk, isn't it?
give it a little
yeah.
Give it a little stir.
Yeah, good idea.
So coconut milk, we ended up putting about 1.5 cans in.
About 1.5 cans, yeah.
And that's on a low heat with the paste. And
low
I've got to say, it smells amazing. We say this a lot on the performance kitchen, but it does smell incredible.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And yeah, brilliant. So what's the next step?
So that's just going to reduce down slowly.
Okay.
Whilst that's reducing, we'll actually just chuck the mushrooms in.
Right, mushrooms are
before we forget.
going in.
Yeah, that will soak up all the lovely sauce.
Lovely.
So I'll chuck those in now.
So you were saying about the nutritionist, he sits down with you every year, pre-season, talks to you a little bit about what's good to eat. Do you have to discuss with him what you're making? So
yeah, well,
tell him, I'm making this before
the
night before training. Is it okay?
Well, he comes up with a lot of great recipes. Sorry, I'm actually going to chuck some sugar snap peas in now.
Sugar snap peas are going in as well?
Yeah, just a nice bit of veg. You can use whatever veg you want. I like sugar snap peas.
They're great, aren't they?
Or you don't need to use any veg at all. It's completely up to you.
You've got to use a little bit of veg.
A little bit of veg, yeah. It looks nice.
It'd be a crime otherwise.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
Perfect.
So let that just heat through. Yeah, so no, he sits down with everyone, goes through their personal goals.
Yeah.
You want to maintain weight, put on weight,
Yeah.
build muscle, whatever that is, and then he tailors a specific diet to you.
Right.
And then it's, you know, he tries to be as strict as he can, but it's kind of up to the discipline of that person as to whether or not they follow it. But,
yeah.
So luckily so far this year it's been pretty good all round. I think most of the boys are in a pretty decent nick.
And what does he make, like when you're training and you have lunch, he obviously makes a big meal for everyone. What kind of...
Well, he controls the menu.
Right. Okay.
So that kind of goes where we train in Guildford. The chef there, she cooks all the food for us. Via him, he tailors the menu to us. So we have usually 2 meals there a day. We have a breakfast and a post-training meal, kind of a lunch/dinner.
Okay. What would that include? Because this is the night before training. It's
This
a
is
low
the night
carb.
before, low
What would
carb.
you have straight after training?
Straight after training, if it's a hard training session, if we're not doing the carb thing, that's when you get your carbs in.
Okay.
So you get some, a big hit of sweet potato, some nice rice, and then a good handful of protein and veg. Something simple like that.
Pasta meals? Do you have like big pasta meals? Or is it
not,
mainly rice
not
and
often
veg?
pasta meals. Pasta's a bit of a treat, which I save the pasta for in season.
Okay.
That's my pre-game meals of bolognese. So.
Oh right.
Yeah, I wait for in season for that.
Great meal to have.
Great meal to have, yeah. Although actually we did have ravioli yesterday, but I don't know why that was there. And I did eat
Just mixing it up a little bit.
Just mixing it up a bit, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, but it's usually something simple, some protein, some carbs, and some veg post training, and then for breakfast, get some yogurts in there, a bit of fruit, and then just eggs, a lot of eggs, protein, and then usually get a bit of fish as well.
Right.
So some salmon, or a salmon option, or a whitefish option.
Okay, so as soon as you train, you want to recover, you want to get as much protein in as possible.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't want to eat too much in the evening.
Not too much.
You're straight on the bike in the morning.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you guys must be hitting it really hard. You've got your first game coming up in September, right?
Start of the season September. First week of September. Yeah.
Against Bristol.
Bristol. Yeah, that's right.
Who've just been promoted, right? So,
just been promoted. Yeah.
So the pressure's on you guys to.
It is.
To win
they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They're a great club with some great players. So it's good to see them back up in the Premiership.
Yeah. How long have they been away?
For a while now, I think they've been very, very close to the last 2 seasons, but they haven't quite made it. So
they're going to be up for it then.
I think everyone always knew they were going to be back up in the Premiership at some time. So
the most exciting part, the cauliflower rice.
Cauliflower rice.
Here we go.
Yeah. So this is just going to go in the little food processor over there.
Okay. Back in the processor.
Back in the processor.
Here we go.
Yeah. I didn't have one. Didn't have one the other day, as I said, so I had to do it by hand, which was a complete pain in the arse. But just take all this crap off and then chuck it in. Yeah.
So you're just going to chop it up finely?
Just in chunks.
In chunks, yeah? And let the process do the work.
And then the process does it all, yeah.
Perfect. So no messing around here, just taking off the lettuce and just cutting chunks, whack it in the food processor.
Yeah, really simple, really easy.
Spinning it a little bit here, we'll let you off.
Sorry mate, that's what
we're here for,
isn't it? Yep, there we go. Right, that should be enough for us.
Perfect. So about half the cauliflower?
About half the cauliflower, yeah. I mean, depending. Actually, because it is a pain to make, what I did the last time is you can make a big batch of it and then just keep it in the Tupperware in the fridge. That will last for about a week.
Right.
So
this will make enough rice for 1, maybe 2 dishes.
This will make enough rice for a bit, yeah.
Let's whack that in there.
Right, over we go.
Perfect.
Basically done.
Perfect. So while the cauliflower rice is cooking, I mean, what's that, about 5 minutes, I believe it?
Yeah, 4 or 5 minutes,
Yeah.
just until it's heated through.
Like you just said, I mean, cauliflower, you can have it. It doesn't need to be on a certain amount of time. You can make it up as you go along.
It's quite nice if it gets a bit crispy or just purely down to preference. Just heat it through.
Perfect. So here we go. We're ready to dish up. Let me turn the oven off.
Yeah.
So we're serving up cauliflower on there, and just we have got a lot of curry here.
A lot of curry.
Maybe 3 dishes.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping some people in the studio will also fancy it and join in as well.
Yeah. Everyone's looking pretty interested in this meal.
Great. So a bit of jazzy presentation here. Got the cauliflower rice.
Is presentation quite important to you?
It is massively to me. Yeah. Even if I'm just home alone, by myself, watching cooking channels, I like to make sure the presentation's spot on. So
just plating up now, Will. I've got to say, it looks. You're delicately putting the chicken curry around the rice here.
Yeah, this is how I always do it, no matter who's there or what the occasion is.
Looks like something out of Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
Got to have a nice presentation.
Yeah, very important.
There we go. I'll leave this for anyone else who wants a little bit. Nice bit of chicken on top.
Very impressed with this.
Yeah, and then we're just going to chuck a couple of lime wedges. It's nice to squeeze it over.
Okay, put them on the side. Bit of chilli.
Bit of chilli.
Bit of coriander.
Bit of coriander. Just tear that up and chuck it over.
Perfect. Wait for this. You'll see it in a minute.
There we go.
It's pretty special.
And then just to get that extra hit.
Oh, Will, it looks amazing. Let's get stuck in.
Yeah,
I'm really interested in this rice. I'm going to have a bit of this rice.
Yeah,
see what that's like. Oh, right. Amazing. It's my first time having cauliflower rice. So nice. So good.
Yeah, it works. It's good.
How's that rate with your other?
Yeah,
the other ones.
It's up there. Probably the best I've done so far,
Probably the best.
Yeah.
Save the best for the performance kitchen.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks a lot for coming in, mate. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
And what a meal. One of the best so far, I think.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I'm not just saying that. Thanks to you guys at home as well for watching. This has been Performance Kitchen. We'll see you next time.